Micky Finn, thank you so much for joining us. How was your set? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. I was a bit late. Thanks for the Reading Festival.
Yeah.
God, jeez, they shut off the whole town, didn't they? Not shut off, but lock it off traffic-wise. Yeah, it was really good in there. Great sound system.
Yeah, really good energy as well, and I loved your set. So, I have a few questions for you.
Yeah.
First one being, who have been some of your biggest artistic influences?
I'd say, to do with the acid house scene, and when I got into it in 87, 88, I used to stand there and watch Paul Oakenfold like every Monday at a club called Spectrum, which then turned into Land of Oz. Growing up as a kid, my mum was a big Motown fan, huge, literally all the music played in the car as growing up as a kid was Motown. So I'm heavily influenced by that. My bigger sister, she had all the record player, which I used to break into her bedroom when she went out and play all her disco 12 inches. So my older sister's got quite a big influence on me musically. I could be here all day with influences.
Yeah.
I'm quite broad in the music that I've been brought up with. And Gary Newman, I was into Bowie, I was into Lou Reed, but I was into African Bambaataa. I was heavily into hip hop and jazz funk, and my dad was a big jazz freak. Not a freak, but he was really into jazz. That was his main music. So our music's quite broad.
And so, with all of that musical experience and influences, how would you describe then your first rave experience?
I was blown away. In the 80s, I want to sound like a right stick in the mud here, but in the 80s, you had white clubs, you had black clubs, and that's just the way it was. I went around with a lot of our group who were black. One of my good mates from Charles is in there, so we used to go to all predominantly black clubs. So as a white person, to kind of see the acid house scene explode, and then to see that cooking pot of races, and it didn't matter if you come from Chelsea or you come from the council estate, to see that in nightclubs for me was just pretty special. And it still is. Especially now it ain't so much of a thing, but in the 80s, sadly, that's how Clubland was, and that's how, it was a very sad environment. So that was one of the best experiences for me, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't do drugs anymore, and I don't condone it. I ain't gonna lie, the ecstasy scene was pretty epic. Just that, I don't know, you weren't judged on what you had on, and which is, sadly, that's how a lot of society is. At the beginning of the scene, you could have turned up in pajamas and they just would have took you for the person that you was, not like, what's he got on, what's he wearing, it's all very kind of materialistic nowadays, sadly. Not in Clubland, just society in general,
Yeah, I hear that, definitely hear that. And so I guess you've sort of half answered this question, so have you seen the rave scene evolve over time, and where do you actually see it going in the future?
Oh, yeah, obviously I've seen it evolve from little clubs, literally see the whole thing get bigger and bigger into warehouse parties, big circus tents in fields, then back into Clubland again. Now we've got huge, big festivals. Where we are now, I wouldn't have predicted 25, 30 years ago. I don't know where it's going to go, but it definitely ain't going anywhere out of sight anyway. I think Clubland, club music, be it jungle, drum and bass, house, techno, plays a huge part in British youth culture, and it just seems like that British people like going out and partying and getting on it. Just simple facts. I know a lot of countries do around the world, but I think British people just love a party, so I don't think it's going anywhere soon. Will there be more music genres? I'm sure there will be. We are quite, as a little island, I think we are really powerful in what we give back to worldwide music. Jungle, drum and bass, dubstep, UK garage. So I'm sure there's someone in a bedroom or a studio cooking some kind of new genre up right now. It's thriving. I mean, that's a good thing. It's getting late because of Reading Festival. I mean, I know it's predominantly live music, but they are these Reading, Leeds, Glastonbury used to be very band orientated. They are really entertaining dance music now, as we know. So I don't think it's going anywhere soon.
Seems healthy.
Very healthy.
And so, what advice would you give to an aspiring DJ or an early sort of music artist who's trying to get into our scene?
Again, I have to sound old because I'm old, but
this is the wisdom we want from you, Micky.
But I mean, if we go back to when me and Groove and Fabio started, like 87, 88, there weren't DJs that were two a penny. Like now, not knocking, but DJs are two a penny. There were really not a lot of them. I don't know if we even would have got a look in with the amount of DJs that's around nowadays. So why I'm saying that is because you're going to have to be really persistent, and it takes a lot of dedication. Some people think it's just going to happen overnight. They're the lucky ones that it happens to. You've got to be prepared. I would do a tape, I would send it to that promoter, even if I didn't hear from them. The next tape, I would send it to that promoter again, just so I can. You just got to keep putting that name out there, because it takes, sadly, one promoter to go, he's really talented, I'm gonna book him. And a lot of time, I did it when we had Innovation. We started booking loads of people that we knew were talented but weren't getting a look in by other promoters. But we're in the game. I make music, I DJ, and it was like, well, why no one booking digital? Not no one booking him, but more bigger parties. Why no one book Bad Company yet? Why no one book Trace yet? And so it takes one promoter to actually go, they're good, why aren't they getting booked, and book them? Yeah. And a lot of promoters fall into line. Oh, they booked them, I should book them. It's sadly the way that the world works. There's people that are prepared to take a risk, and I'm going to try and push talent, and then there's people that just like, I'll just wait there on another flyer, or I'll let other people do the groundwork first. And I think it needs a lot more. You should know talent.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to have other promoters show you that this artist is talented. That I thought that was the promoter's job. But yeah, mainly I'd say dedication. You've got to be persistent.
You have to cut through the noise.
Yeah. And because there is a lot of competition out there nowadays as well, and some really good, healthy competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what motivates you to keep going? Because you've been doing this since
black and white TVs. I mean, I still love it.
Yeah.
The travelling jars me sometimes. Like last night, 4.5 hours, like just under 5 hours there, and 4 hours back, and you're doing 90 minutes work. But it is, you get to, I don't know, people find a job you love and you'll never do another day's work in your life, and I love it. I get to play music for a living. I've cut back a lot. I just got to 50 years of age and went, you know what, just calm down on the work. I've been doing it since I was 20, 21. I turned 50 and I was like, just calm down, live life a little bit, because and I'm not sounding like I'm really ungrateful. I've loved everything that the journey that I've had, but it will consume you if you let it, this industry, you know. It will have you touring all the time, it will have you, you know, being away from home a lot. And I just had a lot of years of it and just went, right, I'm just going to be a bit more picky and choosy now.
Yeah, done your time.
Done my time.
Enjoy life a bit, get that balance.
Yeah. You know, otherwise you live a continuously nocturnal lifestyle, and I just wanted to spend time with my missus and dogs.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
The joys of getting old, eh? But yeah, I mean, I still love it. I just cut it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Got a driver, so I can sleep in the car.
Perfect. That's what I need. It's my day to day, really. So are you ready for your round of this or that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So favorite drum and bass decade, 90s or 2000s?
I'd say the 90s.
Do you prefer daytime raves or all-nighters?
Right now, daytime.
When you're sort of at home and just listening for your own pleasure, do you prefer to listen to music through headphones or speakers?
Speakers.
Speakers. Okay. These are a bit random now. Would you prefer to know how to teleport or how to read minds?
Teleport.
Okay, yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? You would be a driver then.
Yeah, because if I could teleport, I could go to the future and know what your mind was going to say anyway.
Yeah. And then 2 more questions. So one is, would you rather have an all expenses paid trip around the world or £100,000 in cash?
£100,000 in cash.
And then last question is, do you think that a drinking straw has 1 or 2 holes?
I like that. I'm going to say 2.
Okay, nice. Well, brilliant, that's your answer.
Surely there's 1 at each end. I'm sitting here going, but it goes all the way through. I'd say 2.
Brilliant, love it. Oh, Micky, thank you so much.
You're
for answering my
welcome.
questions.
You're welcome.
Lovely.